Hello, sports fan. This is Steven here with Sports Choice Plus, bringing you a very special breakdown. I'm going to be covering the expectations in Carolina. Before I get right into that, I want to make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel so you can get all the updates and all the breakdowns. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Looking at the draft, we all know the Carolina Panthers made a big trade with the Chicago Bears. They traded up and got all the draft haul to move up to the number one spot because they found their guy. Essentially, the Carolina Panthers took last night with the number one overall draft pick. They took Bryce Young. Now, mind you, they asked the owner, David Tepper, what essentially do you expect from this draft as far as picking Bryce Young number one overall, and his expectations simply Super Bowls. He simply came out and said multiple Super Bowls. So looking at this now, we're going to deep dive a little bit and ask ourselves, is Bryce Young going to be bringing the Carolina Panthers Super Bowls? So when you look at it, this is a quarterback-driven league. This is a quarterback-driven league to where you can get a quarterback and that could change your future, that could directly turn around your franchise. And you're looking overall at what the Carolina Panthers did. They've gutted their team a little bit. They've made changes on the offensive line. They brought in different wide receivers, essentially got rid of Run DMC, Christian McCaffrey. You've seen that they've gotten rid of Robbie Anderson. They've gotten rid of a lot of pieces, and they're essentially hitting the restart button. They're refreshing a lot of these players and getting a lot of guys that they don't want to be long-term, but these are guys that are going to supplement and essentially placehold as they're drafting, as they're going through free agency. Now, one thing that I will say this, Bryce Young is a baller. He's a gamer. When you look at him, he can make plays inside the pocket. He can make plays outside the pocket. He's not really a run-first guy. He has the ability to scramble and run, as we saw at Texas, against Georgia, against a couple different teams. But he prides himself on having touch, being able to touch pass, being able to throw guys open. He also has that sense to get out the pocket when he's about to get hit. He also has another thing to lead, that leadership tool that you can lead men. That's different. It's just different when you're that alpha dog and you're just that talented. That's the kind of stuff that drives locker rooms to be successful. That's the kind that you build championship type windows with. So when you're looking at him on paper and on film, he by far had the best film out of any quarterback that was coming out in the draft this year, and it proved himself to why he's the number one overall pick. Now, I will say this. They need to slow down their expectations on Super Bowls because you have the likes of Patrick Mahomes. You have the likes of Jalen Hurts. You have the likes of Justin Herbert. You have the likes of Russell Wilson still can possibly come back. Aaron Rodgers with the Jets. You have a lot of different guys that are talented. Tua with the Dolphins that can easily have something to say about what's going on. So you got to think. They have to build the team around him for him to have adequate say-so about what's going to be next as far as the championship roster. You got to think from the standpoint, what is shown from the Carolina Panthers since Cam Newton last took them that showed that this team is going to be doing that? Nothing. With a new owner that says he's proving to spend money and he's proving to try new things, and yes, I understand that. But you got to keep in mind, you have to build the right team around Bryce. You have to have an offensive line around Bryce. You have to have good playmakers around Bryce. And that's what's heavily going to be keeping this story alive. So you got to keep in mind, do I believe Bryce can win a Super Bowl? Absolutely. But in Carolina, they have to do a lot more. They have to have a lot. You got to basically tear the foundation up and you got to start from scratch. Bryce has to be the guy as soon as he walks in, and you have to have guys that believe in him, that believe in the system. And Frank Wright has to get out there and coach. That's going to be big for this. If this is going to work, this has to be a marriage made in heaven for this offensive coordinator, for the head coach, and for the quarterback. So do I believe in the Carolina Panthers? Not right now. Maybe in 5 or 6 years we can revisit this conversation and see where the Carolina Panthers are. But as for right now, no, I don't believe that this move is going to fill them a championship within the next 3 to 5 years. So all you Carolina Panthers fans, get in the comment section below. Definitely check out Sports Choice Plus for all the breakdowns and all the updates. And we'll see you on the very next video.